Hi guys, and welcome to Escape Wheel Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're going to be reviewing the brand new San Martin SN0144-G-X. I purchased this watch with earnings from the channel, but no matter how I get a watch in, you'll always get my full and honest review on this channel every single time. And if by the end of this review you do want to pick one of these up, as always, there will be a link down in the video description. That is an affiliate link, so if you use that link, you guys aren't going to pay any extra. It'll just earn the channel a little bit of commission, and it'll help keep things running and help getting in watches like this for review. So the retail price for this watch is $358 US. That's before any taxes, custom, etc. They are absolutely going to be on sale during the 11/11 sale. The price drop I think is going to be pretty significant. My guess is that these will fall well below the $300 range after all the coupons and discounts are applied. The watch comes in 3 different colorways that you can see here. They are in the middle of changing dials a little bit, as you can see here. So they are easing up on the gradient effect. It's going to be a more colorful dial than what you're seeing here, but I still think that this one looks pretty good. I believe after the 26th, all the orange dials are already changed over, and I think they're working on the red dials now. So yeah, just pay attention to the listing, and yeah, you guys will see that update. The watch case, bracelet, and clasp are 316L stainless steel, has a sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, a screw-down crown, a screw-down case back, 100 meters of claimed water resistance, Swiss BGW9 on the dial and the hands, and the watch is powered by the Miyota 9015 automatic movement. So $350 for a simple three-hander from San Martin seems pretty steep, but considering the competition and the level of fit and finish that I'm seeing here, it's worth it. I mean, the Miyota 9000 series GADA watches are everywhere now. Microbrands are putting them out seemingly like every week. But yeah, you can pay up to 2 times as much as this, and that's at the full retail price. That's before any discounts, and these are pretty consistently discounted. I still think the best competition for this watch is going to be the Airbus Ascent, which I have on wrist today. You'll pay at least $100 more for the Ascent, and in my opinion, it's a nice watch, but it's just not as nice as the San Martin is. So let's get back to the San Martin and into this full review. All right, doing dimensions. We've got a 39mm case thickness of 10.2 millimeters, got 20 millimeter lug width, lug tip to lug tip of 46 millimeters, and a total length of 40.5 millimeters, and sized up for my 7.5-inch wrist. Weighs 134 grams. So I really do think the size on this is perfect. That 39mm go anywhere, do anything style of watch, just over 10 millimeters thick. They're taking advantage of that Miyota 9000 movement. I'm glad to see that. The thickness on this watch is just perfect. It is a pretty flat case, as you can see here, but I really don't think that matters too much. 46mm lug to lug, 50mm tip to tip, and I really, that's going to be a turnoff for some people, but I don't really think it's that big of a deal, honestly. You can see here the end links, they do drop straight down. So yeah, I think this is going to fit a lot of wrist sizes. Someone with smaller wrists is probably going to, struggle with it a little bit, but for me, it wears great. I've got no issues with it. So I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. And here we are on my 7.5-inch wrist. I love the size of it. I think the male end links work for me. So yeah, I really don't have any issues with the size at all on this watch. Nice and slim case, as you can see there. It just wears beautifully. It's light, it's comfortable. I just love the light play off of all those polished chamfers, and yeah, I think they just look fantastic. And hopping out in some direct sunlight here, you can see really no issue with legibility. Clear and reflective coating on a flat sapphire is never going to be bad. So yeah, I think it looks awesome. I love the fume effect. That red really pops out in some direct lighting, as you can see here. But I mean, it just looks, the finishing on this watch is just next level. Super impressive. I also think it looks good on some straps. So let's go throw it on some, and we'll get back to this review. And here we are on a black cut to size FKM strap, just a smooth FKM. The links for all these straps will be down below. But yeah, I just think with the red and even the other colorful dials, the strap options are going to be pretty limited on this. You're going to have to go with blacks and grays and stuff like that for it to look good. But I'm going to throw a brown strap on it here, and we'll see how that looks. Here we are on a dark brown hemsuit leather strap, which I think actually looks pretty good with this. It's a very dark brown though, so it could definitely pass as a black in certain lightings, kind of like this lighting here. But yeah, I actually think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Alright, here we are on a black textured canvas strap, which I think the actual texture on it goes pretty well with the dial. Looks pretty good. What do you guys think? And lastly, here we are on a nylon strap, single pass, or double pass, sorry. This is a Scentsy Strapco SF2. Absolutely love these straps. Link will be down below for them and all the other straps. But yeah, this one looks awesome. It's super thin. That's what I really like about these ones. I mean, it doesn't make any watch sit up really high or anything like that. And so this one keeping the nice slim profile still, which I think looks really good. And the gray actually goes pretty well with this one. All right, let's go back inside. Let's get back to the review. Alright, so getting into the case finishing on this watch, it is a mixture of brushed and polished surfaces. It's just the right amount of polishing in my opinion. So we have a circular brushing on the top surface of the bezel there, you can see, with a nice high polished chamfer. The transition between the two surfaces is just razor sharp, and the polishing looks to be done very nicely. You got horizontal brushing on the side of the case, vertical brushing on the tops of the lugs there, which match with the bracelet just perfectly. Really happy with that. And then separating those two surfaces, you do have a nice high polished chamfer, looking really, really good, nice and crisp as usual from St. Martin. We have a crown that's kind of nestled down into the case just a little bit. Really nice crown though, good size, nicely signed as well. Plenty of grip on that. I like that crown there. It's got a really nice knurling on it. It's a very subtle look, but yeah, plenty of grip on that as well. Yeah, the case finishing on this watch, as always from St. Martin, is just top notch. I mean, they did an excellent job. They did also continue this chamfer down around on the bottom edge, as you can see here. So it just softens the whole case. This thing, there's not really any sharp edges on this case at all. It feels great. It looks incredible. Flipping it over to the case back here, you can see we've got some Chinese text here. I mean, it all just looks very nicely. Typically, we don't see a signed case back from St. Martin, but here we are. So you can see this is a little bit of a step up from them. You got a little bit of polishing on there as well, but it all just looks really good. Nice simple spec sheet around the outside there. Simple notches for a tool to get into. Yeah, I mean, it is excellent. Really nicely done. Very soft. And like I said, this transition here from this case here to the case back is just really nice and smooth. And I mean, just coupled with the size and the weight and the thinness of this watch, it's just a super comfortable wearing experience. Yeah, let's talk about the crystal. We'll test it for sapphire. It's positive for sapphire. And it is just a flat piece of sapphire crystal with clear anti-reflective coating. It looks really, really good. I've got no complaints about it. Flat crystals don't really need AR coating, so the fact that they put some on there and they put plenty on there, yeah, I'm happy with it. I got no issues with that at all. It sits up ever so slightly above the bezel there. But yeah, it's a nice crystal. I got zero issues with it. And I mean, it's a very simple crystal, but I think it looks good. All right, let's talk about the dial. So the dial is absolutely stunning. It is a beautiful texture red there and fume dial. The top surface is just simple and glossy and smooth. So the texture isn't on the dial itself. It's kind of underneath that smooth glossy layer. It looks fantastic. It just offers a lot of depth. The texture is pretty subtle, especially on camera here. It shows up a little bit better in real life, but it's pretty subtle. And the fume is very strong. And like I mentioned earlier, they are kind of going to fix that a little bit. They're gonna move that fume out a little bit, lighten it up a little bit, and hopefully that'll bring some of that dial texture out a little bit more. But the way it looks now, I actually like it like this. I think an all red dial is going to be pretty, in your face, and this one is pretty subtle. So yeah, I like the way that this one looks personally. You have a printed minute track around the outside, very simple, just white paint. You have applied indices at all the hour markers, a applied date window there down at the 6 o'clock position with a little hour marker there. Those are all filled with BGW9 Lume. The handset on this, pretty typical and standard for St. Martin. A nice handset though, good length. The hour hand touches right on the inside of those hour indexes. I mean, it just looks, it looks really good. It's nice and clean. Got a big counterbalance on the second hand there. You do have a red tip to the second hand, so I think when they lighten that dial up, you're going to kind of miss that red there a little bit. But on this dial, for right now, I think it looks really good. You do have a color match date wheel on all the dials as well. You have the applied San Martin hex logo, which is the right decision on this watch in my opinion. And then you have your automatic 100 meters down there at the 6 o'clock. Everything seems very balanced. Everything seems aligned perfectly. And I've got really no issues with it at all. It's just a very clean and simple looking dial. It's that GADA style, you know, go anywhere, do anything. You could dress this up, you could dress it down. And yeah, it's going to look good in a bunch of different scenarios. So yeah, really happy with the dial on this watch. Really happy with the Lume, actually. The Lume is pretty good, so I'm going to pop up a Lume shot. You can see it against a couple other watches in the collection. Again, it's not going to be diver level good. The Lume is just not, it doesn't have enough area to be that good. But I can still read it in the middle of the night, and that's really all I can hope for on this watch. It's BGW9, so it is that nice ice blue glow, and it's white during the daytime. So yeah, it's just it's a good Lume application for a watch like this. I think it's excellent. All right, so let's talk about the movement inside. So this is the Miyota 9015 automatic movement, 28,800 beats per hour, so 6 ticks of the second hand. It hacks, hand winds. It's got a single directional winding rotor, and there are times where I can hear it in there, but it's not too bad on this watch. They are about 42 hours of power reserve. They are awesome movements, super accurate, super reliable. Here's how this one has been running, plus 5 seconds a day. Can't really complain about that. The beat error is a little high, but it's still acceptable in my opinion. So yeah, I've got no real complaints with the movement, no real complaints with the crown either. The movement is operated by this 3 o'clock screw down crown. Plenty big, plenty of grip, nice and smooth screw in and screw out action, satisfying pop out as well. First position is your hand winding. Second position is your date change. Everything in there seems to be centered nicely. And then the third position gets you into the time setting. It hacks the movement. Everything is aligned nicely. The movement functions exactly like you would expect it to. So really happy with it. You push it in, starts up the movement every single time. Screw in action is nice and smooth. It picks up the threads right away. I've got no complaints with it at all. The movement, the crown, everything functions perfectly. All right, so let's get to the bracelet. This is something that we haven't seen from San Martin yet. This is a different bracelet than we're typically used to seeing. It's 20 millimeters. It tapers down to 16 millimeters at the clasp. And you can just see right here how tight this is. It doesn't fold back on itself, as you can see there. I'm trying to press it in there. So when it's sitting on a table, it like doesn't compress all the way, as you can see there. So it's interesting in that fact. It doesn't really translate at all on wrist. It was something that I was kind of worried about, lack of, I guess, the negative articulation. But that is not, it doesn't, you don't even notice it on wrist. What you do notice are those really tight tolerances on the bracelet. There's like barely any wiggle room at all on it. It looks fantastic. I was also worried about this middle link. You can kind of see as you look down at there, the middle link sits above the outer links there. It's an interesting little look, but it's so subtle that you don't really notice it. And then it allows them to put a nice chamfer on the outside edges of those middle links. It just adds a little bit of flair to the bracelet. Same here, you got another nice polished chamfer on the outer edge of the outer links. Yeah, I mean, it's just a really cool and interesting look. The finishing, as always from San Martin, is just top notch. The bracelet is held together with screw pins. I removed, I believe, one link from my 7.5 inch wrist. You have solid end links as well. They're in there nice and tight, nice tight tolerances on the spring bars and quality spring bars as well. The only thing that this is really missing is quick release, which I think we're going to start seeing more of this year. Hopefully they can upgrade this and put some quick release spring bars in there. That would be awesome. The clasp, it's an upgraded clasp. It's a fantastic one. I liked their previous clasp. I like this one even better. It's thinner, as you can see there. It's a cleaner look. It doesn't have the screws on the side. Really nicely finished. It goes perfectly with this bracelet. Brushed on the top, a little bit smaller of a logo. Rounded off pushers here. Everything functions exactly as you would expect it to. And then before you had a little button there you had to press and it would click into place. This one, you just pop it open and slide it back and forth. It feels a little bit gritty, but same with my other one. Felt a little bit gritty right out of the box, but has since softened up. And the more you use it, the more smooth it's gonna be. So I like it. I like the new clasp. I definitely like that it's thinner, lower profile, and I definitely like the look of it. I think it looks fantastic. So yeah, I'm really happy with the bracelet. The only thing that I could see them improving would be the quick release spring bars. So there you go, guys. That is the San Martin SN0144-G-X. There's not a whole lot to say about this thing. It is an amazing go anywhere, do anything watch. I wish they would put out some more subtle dials. I think the colors are awesome, but they need to just put out a simple black one, and this thing would be incredible. It'd be a great go anywhere, do anything watch. I think their colors are a little bit too bright right now, but I digress. The texture is cool. The design is nice. The new case is amazing. Miyota 9000 series movement brings down the thickness, so you don't have a 12 or 13 millimeter go anywhere, do anything watch. It's just over 10 millimeters thick. You get a really nice bracelet, good lume on the fly clasp. I mean, you're getting into, I've had plenty of watches in that kind of $600 microbrand league, and this watch is every bit as nice, if not nicer, than those other watches. So yeah, the big competition will be for this thing here. I believe it's $460 for the Erebus Ascent. So at the very least, you're going to pay $100 more for the Erebus, and I don't think it's anywhere. I mean, it's a nice watch, don't get me wrong, but it's not anywhere near as nice as this watch is. So yeah, I think yeah, if you're on the fence for this one, don't be. Go get it. It's an excellent watch. It looks really cool, and the build and the fit and finish is just top notch from San Martin. So yeah, I think that's it for me. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.